Drake is literally a walking meme. Nobody really respects him. The whole like Anita Maxine. What was that? Kendrick.
Yeah.
Love Kendrick.
Tarnishing Tupac's legacy in a way. He died as that great thing, and now he's been using a Drake diss track.
Exactly.
I think it was mainly started by Kendrick Lamar, saying that he is the best. I think that his ego kind of got to him in the way that he allowed himself to believe he was better than both Drake and J. Cole. He and his fan base thought he was better than what he is, practically.
That's not rap. That's pettiness.
So by now we've all heard about the Drake and Kendrick Lamar beef, but what do teenagers in the UK think about it? I have interviewed 3 of my friends to hear their opinions on what caused it, if they know about the hype it's caused in America and Canada, it making headline news, and who's winning. Is this the biggest rap beef in history? Stay tuned. Ryan and Gaia, what do you know about the Kendrick and Drake beef?
They've been beefing, isn't it?
Yeah, Drake and J. Cole made a song, and
Kendrick dropped 3 diss tracks.
Gabriella, what do you know about the beef between Drake and Kendrick Lamar?
Okay, it's been getting worse for a long time, but right now it's met like the top of the pinnacle, mainly because they've been sending each other disses through songs or raps that go against their family, go against their friends, go against like Taylor Swift, for example, go against their children, like Drake's supposed daughter, and Kendrick Lamar's wife.
What is your opinion on the beef?
Kendrick.
Yeah.
Love Kendrick.
I feel like Drake's just like weird.
So you guys are on Kendrick's side?
Yeah. I mean, after that whole thing with Millie Bobby Brown and him being friends with him, I was just sort of like, oh, okay.
You know that one clip where Drake's doing that podcast with that one girl?
Oh,
and
yeah.
then she's like, do you think I'm attractive? He said, I'd do it. He just kind of like...
And then it made it into a whole meme.
Yeah, well, I mean,
yeah,
it's like a
Drake
whole thing.
is literally a walking meme. Nobody really respects him.
He's
The
just
whole
a
like,
weirdo.
Anita Maxine.
Oh.
What was that?
That was funny though.
I don't mind
That
Drake's
was
music.
actually...
What is your opinion on the Drake and Kendrick Lamar beef?
I believe it's wrong. I don't believe members of people's families or members of people's households should be involved when there's a dispute.
Do you think that J. Cole is responsible for this beef after his line in First Person Shooter?
I wouldn't say responsible, but I'd say he... What's the word?
Initiated it.
Almost like exaggerated it, I guess. Like, he made it worse. Because that's what caused Kendrick to fire back in the first place, right? With his first song, whatever it was called. I forgot.
So you guys think he's responsible?
No. But he exaggerated it. So partially responsible for the exaggeration of events, but not responsible for it occurring in the first place.
So then why do you think he stayed so neutral about it?
Drama. Can't deal with drama.
I don't think he's as big as Kendrick
He
and
is.
Drake combined.
No, he is.
So
He's huge.
starting off beef with like that.
I don't think so. It's mainly because he did question all 3 of them, whether each individual person, Drake, Kendrick Lamar, or himself, is the best within the rap game. And I think it was mainly started by Kendrick Lamar, saying that he is the best. I think that his ego kind of got to him in the way that he allowed himself to believe he was better than both Drake and J. Cole, that he kind of thought he and his fan base thought he was better than what he is, practically. And obviously the media fueled it, and everyone started like pitting them against each other.
Apparently, Drake has used AI-generated voices of Tupac and Snoop Dogg in his diss track, Tailor-Made Freestyle. What do you think about this?
I didn't like it. I like that he's got like Snoop Dogg and Tupac, but Tupac's like, that's start of rap. Like,
it's a different era.
Yeah, and using that, especially without talking to his team first, is just disrespectful.
I mean, yeah, I guess you could talk about like tarnishing Tupac's legacy in a way. 'Cause he died as that great thing, and now he's been using a Drake diss track.
Exactly.
Is that what he would have wanted?
Exactly. That's not rap. That's pettiness.
Drake's a petty guy though.
Yeah.
It's always been.
Well, first of all, fact before opinion, it's illegal. He didn't have the right by the Tupac's estate to reuse Tupac's voice. Second of all, I don't think it's right. I don't think it's respectful to use it for anyone else's voice for their own personal vendetta. So I think it was wrong.
There have been some claims of Drake being an alleged paedophile, like taking a 16-year-old girl out to dinner, grooming a 14-year-old, and kissing a 17-year-old girl on stage. What do you think about this?
Vile.
It's not good.
It's disgusting.
Yeah.
Vile.
I mean, Kendrick calling him out was a really big deal.
Oh yeah.
Like, it's good to, like, you know, actually put Drake in that spot. Like, 'cause he's been worshipped almost for, like, ages since, you know, it became really popular.
Exactly.
And now it's like Kendrick's putting it out there that he's not a good person.
He's calling him out.
I think it's very demoralizing for his career, because the way Kendrick Lamar put out the diss track, it's very popular on social media compared to, I think, the rest of Drake's disses. And also, it possibly may be true, it possibly may be untrue. However, you have to consider if there are receipts, if there's even evidence for these claims.
Do you think that Drake has snitched on himself with his Millie Bobby Brown line in his diss track, The Heart Part 6?
Yeah.
He made a song called The Hot Part 6.
Yeah.
Should we play it?
Isn't that like, because Kendrick made the Hot Part 5? Oh.
It's all clicking now. No, because
I don't think. I mean, I guess you could say he was
he
just
knew
being
that there
stupid.
was like people out there. Oh no, it's too long.
Okay.
There's people out there that was just like knew that there was something suspicious going on with him and Millie Bobby Brown, and then just to make a song about it, it's like, oh, I'm good.
Him saying it himself was a bit crazy.
Isn't she engaged now?
Yeah.
How old is she now?
She's like 19.
Is she?
I know.
She's like 20 at least.
Crazy.
Well, that's like 20, yeah, but
I think he did. I think he wanted to address the allegations, but he did it in the wrong way for a diss track.
Do you think that Kendrick was stirring the pot even more after responding to J. Cole's line in First Person Shooter?
I mean, I feel like there's that whole culture within diss tracks that you're supposed to hit back at each other.
Mm.
So J. Cole said that, Kendrick responded, but then I feel like he kind of did take it too far, because then he just started going crazy and dropped like 3 songs, you know?
Oh yeah.
But there's that whole like, I feel like, okay, the culture of like diss tracks and this kind of stuff in rap or music has been ingrained for so long that it's the kind of thing where like it's just normal for Kendrick to respond in that way. It's what you'd expect from especially someone as big as him.
Mm-hmm.
I think, yeah, he really did. He kind of put all the attention onto himself and said, you should fixate on me and neither Drake or J. Cole.
Why do you think it's taken Kendrick Lamar 2 years to release another album, but just days to release these diss tracks?
He's had him in his back pocket. I think they've had beef going on for decades.
Yeah.
So I think Kendrick was just waiting.
It's been ages, yeah.
Yeah.
I think because he's always had a hate for Drake. Not because he personally believes that he does believe that Drake is worse than him. He literally has said in some of the diss tracks what he hates about Drake. Because his album isn't particularly about Drake. It isn't particularly about somebody that he hates, somebody that has mocked him. For example, Drake literally said that Kendrick Lamar's wife and him had to go to counselling. He claimed that Kendrick Lamar beats his wife. He claimed that Kendrick Lamar cheats on his wife. And I feel like that really fueled an anger within him to go and put that diss out.
Do you think that Drake forces a Toronto accent? If so, why?
I mean, maybe he wants to link more to his heritage. But I don't know if it's forced or... He's from Toronto.
Mm.
Yeah. So I don't know if it's... he's gained more of an American accent through his music, because that's more like... If you hear someone rapping in a Toronto accent, it's not like what you'd expect. So he probably developed more of an American accent from that.
I don't know Drake personally, so I don't. Drake is so funny looking. Do you think I did like
Utes,
Drake?
fam.
This is the last.
Bare Utes, fam.
Okay.
I can't lie, fam.
I think he possibly does. I know that Drake is a biracial individual, so he may want to appease himself to two different cultures. So I believe that Drake kind of puts on like a Toronto accent because he wants to appease to his black side more than his white side. I'm not saying that he's ashamed of it, but perhaps he wants to become more popular within the black community.
Do you think it's true that Drake is a culture vulture? Should he just embrace his Canadian roots?
He's very patriotic about Canada. If you look at his involvement with the Toronto Raptors, like in 2019 when they won the chip, he was like, he's so in there, and he's always really in with that team. But in
Not
terms
through
of
his
Canada,
music.
Yeah, in terms of his music, no.
Yeah.
In terms of the way he like lives his life, I feel like he is pretty patriotic about his country.
In his music though, like especially when he used like Tupac and Snoop
Yeah.
Dogg as AI voices, it's
Yeah.
not very Canadian.
Apparently he has a ghostwriter too. He doesn't even write his songs. So like,
I heard about that.
I believe he should embrace his Canadian roots because his whole LA lifestyle, I don't believe it's him. I believe like he should go back to his roots and be who he really is. And I feel like, you know, the Party Next Door fan base, I feel like they really appreciate that Canadian or Toronto side of him. And I feel like the Drake fans would do the same if he embraced it.
Kendrick has allowed YouTubers to post videos with his music and monetize off those videos. Why can't Drake do the same?
because he likes money too much.
Mm.
He does seem like a kind of.
Rich Baby Daddy. Have you heard of Rich Baby
That's
Daddy?
the song of SZA, isn't it?
Yeah, I think there was this whole thing about him having this guy in Universal that just like promotes his music and gets him to the top of the charts.
Did you know that this was because Drake has no rights to his music?
Really? That
Wow.
kind of makes sense that he doesn't write his music either. There's that whole thing about the ghostwriter.
Yeah.
He
He doesn't have any
to it.
rights
He has no rights.
at all.
Okay, my dad just told me this. But like, he gets like his sources from like Drake.
Should we Google it? Does Drake actually have no rights?
That would make sense though. He's very heavily controlled by his label.
Yeah.
This is the last
Does Drake
question.
have rights on his music?
Does Drake have rights? For sure.
Does Drake have...
I don't think he wants to de-heighten, lower the standards of his own label. I think he wants to make people believe he is the best in the rap game, and he doesn't want to, in an egotistical way, he doesn't want to bring his standards down to Kendrick Lamar's. I'm not saying Kendrick Lamar is worse than Drake, no way, but I'm just saying that I think Drake wants to set himself on a pinnacle to show that he's the best.
Did you know that this is because Drake does not actually have rights to his music?
No, I did not. I wouldn't have thought that as well.
Let's do the last question.
Have you heard Metro Boomin's BBL Glizzy diss track?
It's not really a diss track. It's just.
Thank you for having me. I gotta go.
Okay. Thank you so much. You made it so interesting.
What? And it's probably a minor.
Bye.
Bye.
Have you heard it?
Yeah, but it's not really a diss track. It's more just a beat, isn't it? People just start rapping on it. Like Miles raps on it. That was some good shit.
Okay.
Okay, we're done.
So wave to the camera. Bye guys.